Okay, so today I'm just going to be explaining my AAC project. I'm going to go over my client and her case history, the assessment process that I use to decide my recommendation, and then a summary, and then just go over my book. Um, so this client currently is a client that I have on my caseload. She's a 4-year-old female with the medical diagnosis of spinal muscular atrophy, which is a autosomal recessive degenerative gene disorder that causes spinal cord, motor neural degeneration, weakness, and atrophy of the skeletal muscles. So I'm currently seeing her once a week for 30 minutes, and I coach her with OT and PT. Um, she's completely nonverbal. She does have some babbling noises, and she can say no occasionally. So I guess not completely nonverbal, but there's definitely not a any way to communicate without an AAC. She's pretty weak. She can sit up by herself, but definitely needs that assistance. So like that's why we're coaching with OTPT, which works really well. She currently is on a whole list of medications, but she is in a clinical trial for SMA that she gets a shot in her spinal cord 4 times a year. Um, I saw her 2 weeks ago, as I was saying in class, and she was really weak. She didn't really want to do anything, and then she had got her shot the day before we had seen her, and it definitely, you could see she was much more attentive, a lot stronger, sat up by herself, and so it really does seem like it's working, which is super exciting. Um, so basically, just her case history. She is able to communicate through grunts, a little bit of babbling, pointing. She gains attention in those same ways, but she doesn't have any vocalizations besides the no occasionally. Um, she is able to use a bit of picture discrimination with the AAC that we've been using with her, which is really neat to see. And she is aware of her surroundings. She knows when we show up and what we're going to do. She has object to photo and object to object. She can identify objects, photos, and pictures within her AAC to understand what's going on. She was tested with the PLS-5 and was in had a standard score of 55 with a percentile of 1 and an age ranking of 1, 2. She was tested on the Real 3 with a standard score of 88 and a percentile 21. So those kind of give us things. She definitely is aware, like I said, of what's going on, and she's aware that she wants to communicate. She just can't. She just struggles to, and you can tell she wants to communicate, and she understands a lot more than what she's able to identify. She was tested with the DP3, which indicated she was in the 8th percentile with a standard score of 79, but those results maybe don't correctly identify her performance due to the lack of the communication system and the physical delays. She's homebound right now, so she doesn't go to school at all, but is still just able to receive the school services for speech, OT, and PT because of the district and the way schools work here. So currently right now she's on a picture exchange and kind of choice board type thing, and after looking into a few other options, I felt like that was still a really good option for her because she does have a bit of that picture discrimination, and when you ask her yes/no questions, she's able to identify different things. She knows she's got a hierarchy of choices. She knows what she likes and she knows what she doesn't like, and she's able to choose those really well when we present those options with her. She does still have the delays in she doesn't get it obviously 100% of the time, but you can tell when you ask her a question, she looks at it, she's very attentive to the options that she has and what we're asking, and she'll look and then she reaches. Like I said, she's a lot stronger after her shots, and so a little bit of the assessment process that I did to decide if this was still good is when I saw her a few weeks ago, I was asking her yes/no questions. I was asking her what she wanted to do and giving her options of a much more preferred activity and a much less preferred activity. and she would always pick the preferred activity, and then if I would give her the less preferred activity, she would get evidently upset. If she wasn't choosing, if I would give her that less preferred, she would get upset and reach for our options and stuff so she could switch out that preferred to less preferred activity, which shows she's aware of what's going on, as well as being able to identify different things and being able to discriminate those pictures of the choices to know she wanted it. Peppa Pig, she has little Peppa Pig characters, and those are a really preferred activity for her, and so she'd really reach for those Peppa Pig characters. On her AAC, well, it was toy people, but she's aware that that's what that means. As well as we have a TV guide in part of her book that we're not putting in anymore because it never gets used because it's not at home right now. So we might add that to the book that I'm going to send home with her. She saw Peppa's feet, and I had the book closed, so she had her front options, and she saw Peppa's feet in a TV guide menu, and she went to reach for that and tried to pull it out because she knew that meant Peppa Pig. So that definitely shows that she has that hierarchy of what she likes and what she doesn't like, but also that picture discrimination that we really like to see. So according to Vicker, there has to, in an article that I read, there has to be 2 different things for picture exchange to work and be a feasible option for a child. One is they have to show the want and need to communicate, so they have to have that present want and know that communication needs to happen for them to get things. And then 2, they have to have a preference. And so she obviously has both of those. After assessing her, she has the preference of that preferred activity, and she also knows that she wants to communicate, and she does that through being very vocal and verbal, and the grunts and the noises and the reaching. And so she wants to communicate. She just needs that option to make that communication. So I decided that continuing on that picture exchange / choice was a really good idea. It was working well for her, and we continue to see progress every week. I think that it's a really good option, so I decided to continue on that. And so I made her this book. So we have her preferred activities, if you can see them. So we have play people, which would be like the Peppa Pigs, or she has troll dolls that she really likes, and so she knows that she gets the little dolls. We have picture cards, because sometimes she just likes to grab these and then be able to grab other pictures to look at them, which I think is really interesting, because that means she's really trying to focus on what the pictures look like and what they mean, and I think she's building that up in her mind. And she really likes bubbles, and then she likes to be sung to. So what we'll do is we take off the sentence strip, and it's not technically used in the way it would normally be, but we'll put her options on, and then we'll say, what do you want to do? If she chooses toy people, then we do make the exchange, and then we'll exchange that. So we're doing that, but that's really just working on that picture discrimination and making that hierarchy and making her understand that these allow her to get things. In addition to those, we have our yes and no, and then break time. And then we just have our normal, like needs and wants. So like need help, your turn, I want. And then another thing that we're really working on is colors. And so that's working on yes, no, and WH questions. So that's helpful, and we have those, and then we just have some other options. And so this book actually we made to send home because she has a 24-hour day and night nurse, and so she doesn't have that communication option if we're not there working with her. And since she is showing such progress, we are going to send this home with her, and the day nurse is always there, and she's always very attentive to what we're doing. So a little bit of training with her in addition to her watching us is going to be really helpful, and then she'll always have that opportunity to have this. Another reason that I think the picture exchange is really good is because she lays on the floor a lot, and if she just had a regular core board, it'd be really hard. They'd always have to be very focused on her at all times, rather than her being able to pull it off and hold it up, because she does have that motor movement to use her arms and everything to hold it up to make sure that she is seen, rather than just having that core board to touch. So having that tangible, removable item, I think, is really good for her. So 2 goals that I made for her through this project. By the end of 35 instructional weeks, she will be able to match 10 colors by grabbing the picture off the AAC and exchanging it when verbally asked with 80% accuracy with minimal visual and verbal cues. And then she will independently request a preferred activity through AAC picture exchange 8 out of 10 opportunities in a data collection. So just really working on that receptive identification and picture discrimination with her, I think is going to be really helpful. And then we'll be able to add in more through as she continues to grow. And also with her shots, she continues to get stronger and grow and be more aware. And so I think this is a really good option. This is a really good option for her to have and to learn and to grow with her communication. So that's my project. That's my client, and that's why I decided to do what I did and then choose this client, because she just is so amazing, and it's just unbelievable to watch her grow and be a part of it. So yeah, thank you.